Let's have a uncomfortable conversation real quick. But there really comes a time when you have to be true to yourself. You have to be true to what you want in life, what you deserve out of life, the things you would accept in life, the things you wouldn't accept in life. But first of all, hold on, 1 second. Let me go ahead and explain this wine to y'all real quick. So this is Monte. I can't pronounce that word. Anticico, 2016. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon. I probably ain't pronounced that word right. Anyways, I got it at this place in Cary called the Wine Merchant. It's like a little mom and pop type shop. Like its own. The owner was there, walking around like, and you know me. Everybody knows me. Like I'm one of the people who will ask a stranger a million questions. Like I knew them my whole life, but he recommended this bottle to me because like you can go into the wine shop and you can actually sit down, drink, eat chips, watch TV, watch sports, anything like that while you drinking wine. So picked up this bottle. I had a glass of it and I ended up really liking it. So figured let me I like red wine. I ain't getting white wine, but red wine is better to me. The more I learned, the more wines I tasted, the more I started gravitating towards red wine. The only reason I really liked white wine at first is because I didn't know any better. You know, in college, everybody drinks whatever they can get their hands on, and we always drunk like pink Moscato. You know, that's like depending on the day, it could be $10. Some days it could be like $3 or $4. But anyway, that's beside the point. Um, I wanted to talk about like how I learned how to cope with mental health and whatnot. So basically, um, back in I'm gonna give y'all a little quick little story. I love telling stories. So back in 2018, had my first job out of college. You know, you don't really like the job, but you work it because it's your first job out of college. Like you're an adult now, you want to make some real money. You don't want to make this minimum wage type money no more. So had the job, worked for like about a year. I worked for a year. You know, you first start a job, you don't really like it, but like you're telling yourself, all right, like you either trying to tell yourself or force yourself to like the job, or you trying to like you trying to force yourself to like the job, or you're really trying to like see what it is. So like, you know, first like the gap between ending college and starting a new job is one of them things that's not talked about enough. I really feel like we should have a therapist or some specialist that should be able to talk to people about that, because that big jump from going to having all this free time that you don't know what to do with yourself to having a scheduled day, like you got to sit here for 8-9 hours a day, then you can do whatever you want, but you still got to plan your day around that 8 hours. That's not talked about enough. I feel like we should do some kind of therapist or something should be able to talk to people about that, or they should have some class in college that specializes on bridging the gap between ending college and starting your professional as an adult. Anyway, see how you got sidetracked like that? Anyways, I worked this job for a while, you know, trying to force myself to actually like it because, you know, you're an adult. And you know how, for the most part, our parents grew up, it was basically get a job, no matter what it is. You work it till you about 60 or until you die. And that's pretty much it. But our generation, we ain't doing nothing we don't like long term. We're not doing that. We're not going for that. We're being more honest with ourselves these days. I worked for this job for like a year. Then reality started really kicking in. It was just like, I really don't like this. Like I know it wasn't because the job was doable, but it was more so of my mental state wasn't really there. Like I was physically at work, but my mental state was not at work. It was like, because you know, once you don't like something, That's like all you'll think about. It's just like if you're dating someone or whatnot, and once you stop liking that person, the smallest thing that they do, like every little thing they do from that day forward, just piss you off for no reason. Like they can blink wrong. It's like, why are you doing that? But basically, started going to I went to the doctor and got like diagnosed and whatnot. With just depression. Not like nothing, no kind of crazy depression. Just like I think it was more so seasonal. I took meds for like, I want to say I took meds consistently for like 3 months. That first dosage messed me up, and the doctor said it was gonna happen. She told me that it takes about 2 weeks for it to get in your system, which everybody knows it does. Man, I want to say the first 3 or 4 days were the absolute worst. When I say the worst, I'm talking about, I was super anxious back then, but my anxious level went from here to like up here. No matter what it was, my anxious level was just going through the roof. I was so anxious, looking around all the time. I was like, my palms were very sweaty. I couldn't really focus. I went back to work, and like I had a cubicle, so like every time somebody would walk past, I'm like to the point I was like, I gotta go home. Like I got to go home. But anyways, finally told the job what was really wrong. I finally just told to them that I had depression and whatnot and diagnosed. And about 2 weeks later, they fired me. And then after that, life was life was hard, but I was trying to talk to myself. I was trying to basically find ways to improve my mental capacity, improve my overall life, trying to find things that I like and whatnot. That's around the time when I started taking powerlifting more serious, because that was really the only thing that I really had to lean on when it came to having that how would I say this? That was the one thing I leaned on that I had to look forward to every day when I was going through all that. I had a competition about 2 months later after that job terminated me. Won the competition, so I was on my emotional level was high. You couldn't tell me nothing. I wasn't cocky or anything, but I was just happy. I was on top of the world during this time, because first competition, you win your first competition. You get sick. And then, let's say about a month later, so the meet was January 9th. It was the first weekend in January. I remember that. I don't know exactly the date. It was January 9th, something like that. Fast forward a month later, it was either Valentine's Day or the day before Valentine's Day. I don't know if Valentine's is 14th, 13th. Anyways, apartment burns down. Most random thing ever. Long story short, somebody, a couple doors down, they either left a cigarette burner or a candle burner. We to this day still don't know. And burnt all 16 units down. I'll give y'all that full story one time, one of these days. But that story is long. That was an eventful day, and a lot of stuff happened during that day that I felt saved my life, kinda sorta. Because I'm gonna just say that for another story. But anyways, after that burned down, I didn't really grieve I would say normal person would grieve, because even the girl I was talking to at the time, I called her nonchalant when the apartment burned down, and she was I was like, my apartment just burned down. She's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And she's like, you're fine? I'm like, yeah. It was part of the reason. It was one of the things that related to my depression back then, because I didn't
really like people close to me. Like I was so
standoffish. Like I was so hot and cold. I was like a roller coaster, like up and down. Um, every time I want people to be near me, then times I'm like standoffish, which I really couldn't see the people that were trying to really like be there for me because I was so
my mind's so clouded,
and I'm used to like past situations where
you know, people hear like someone's going through depression, they automatically just think they're like this person that need to be put in a straitjacket or something, which has nothing to do with it at all. It's just society. Society doesn't really know what to do because the talk of depression and mental state of mind is not something that's talked about enough.
I mean, there people are talking about it more now so than previously because we got
Like celebrities and Kevin Love came out a few years back saying that he was depressed. Now it's like, oh my God, maybe this
this is serious. So now it's being talked about more.
So what were we talking about? Depression? That was a
Eventful year when it came to like me.
I realized like you got to find a way. You really got to find a way to cope and a way to move past this, a way to get back to yourself. And that year, which is full of like self-reflection, finding what you like, doing what you like, being honest with yourself, having talks with yourself, positive affirmations, um, talking to your friends, asking your friends how they're doing.
I'm really big on
Having
a safe place for people
to talk. Hey,
I ain't even gonna lie. About 3 hours ago, I texted my homeboys in the group chat, and I was like,
hey, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I'm not
feeling the best today.
And literally, they responded in like 20 seconds. They were like,
hey, what's up? Let's FaceTime. We all on FaceTime just talking. I just told them straight up, like, look,
I was at the gym. It was a good workout, but then like I was
leaving
leaving.
the gym, got in the car, and like emotions just hit me like a brick wall. Like it wasn't no crazy. Like I didn't just start like boo-hoo crying and thing. It was just like just thinking
Back on like
adversity, like all this adversity I done had the last couple of years.
and like I felt like everything was just like
A domino effect, like one thing after the other, and I felt like I couldn't really cope. I never got to cope because I felt like everything just kept happening like back to back to back. So it's like I can't even grieve from this when this right here is happening too. So we had a conversation about that. And I told them how like I honestly when I got home and got the shower, I just broke. Like I broke. When I say broke, I mean
to the point where I'm like boo-hoo crying. Like
hysterical. I had to sit on the side of the tub for a little bit.
sometimes it's good to just let that cry out, dog.
And that's one of the things I really want men to have that freedom to do because men
Men think because society sees them
them as like the person who's supposed to bear all the weight of the family on the shoulders is supposed to be macho 100% of the time because they can't
show no weakness because people will feed off that weakness. Forget that. You need to be honest with yourself. It ain't gonna make you any less of a man if you let a good cry out. If you talk to your significant other, you talk to your best friends, your closest friends.
your family and tell them how you feeling. That is okay. That is perfectly fine. I promise you, they would not. They would respect you more for being vulnerable like that than someone who is walking around here always mad because
They got so much
bottled up inside and they don't know how to let it out. I really don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it because like
a lot of
things that we go through as an adult could have been prevented in childhood.
I want y'all to like just sit there and I want y'all to think about that after you
Watch this video. I'm gonna
say it again for you. A lot of things
that we
go
go
through in adulthood could have been prevented in childhood.
a lot. I think about it all the time.
And I just reflect back
Back on a memory from as a kid, I'm like,
that makes sense. But
That's all I wanted to say to y'all. I wanted to give y'all a quick little story on
The ways that I've
well
the very first time I
had an honest conversation with myself when I realized like things were starting to spiral out of control a little bit, and I
had
had
to
to
be completely honest with myself, man. I really hope
hope that someone can take something away from this and learn from it and use it in their own life. But
from now on, be just be honest with yourself. Talk to yourself.
talk to your friends and family. Don't be too macho to the point where you can't depend on people or talk to someone on an emotional level. If they're not trying to be there for you on an emotional level or when you're not at your best, they don't need to be around you. That's all I got to say.
Got some. Get this out the way.